Hello YouTube, back at it again with another video. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Kyle Busch. Uh, I tried to refrain from talking about this subject because it's just so emotional. It's just really sad, that this had to happen. Kyle Busch had to pass away. Definitely a legend to the motorsports world in general, not just NASCAR. Nobody's won as much races as him across all three national series. And just really big impact on motorsports, especially NASCAR in this era. Just you know, they haven't lost anybody like this since they lost Earnhardt, and it's just a really sad time in motorsports. But we're gonna watch this video about that NASCAR put out, honoring Kyle Busch and his legacy. And then we're going to dive into the Coca-Cola 600 and Indy 500, the biggest weekend in motorsports. So, with all that being said, let's dive into this video. We'll talk a little bit about, other ways they're honoring Kyle, which I think is respectable.
Kyle Busch was a generational talent who rose to become a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and one of the sport's greatest and fiercest drivers. Across 22 full-time seasons in NASCAR's top division, Busch won the 2015 and 2019 Cup Series titles and 63 races, ninth on the all-time series wins list.
Kyle Busch has been legendary today.
His numbers across the other two national NASCAR series were record-setting, with 102 victories in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and 69 wins in the Craftsman Truck Series. Busch was a proudly polarizing figure among fans, intensely popular with his adoring supporters, and booed loudly by his detractors.
If you don't like that kind of racing, don't even watch.
He entered the sport as a brash teenager with the nickname Shrub, as the younger brother to Hall of Famer Kurt Busch. But the moniker Rowdy, a nod to one of the main characters in Days of Thunder and to his aggressive style, is what stuck with him. A Las Vegas native, Kyle Busch followed many of the same steps that his brother did in accelerating up the racing ladder. Family go-karts on makeshift tracks and cul-de-sacs and parking lots. Then Legends cars at the Vegas Bull Ring, before a move to full-bodied late-model competition.
For us young drivers, we're thrown into the biggest series in all of racing. Sooner or later, you're going to have to get thrown in, so why not it be sooner than later?
Busch drove for 3 Hall of Fame Cup team owners, getting his start in the series with Hendrick Motorsports as a heralded rookie in 2005. He joined Joe Gibbs Racing in 2008, establishing a long-running partnership that made him the face of Toyota's NASCAR endeavors. He spent the final stages of his career with Richard Childress, arriving in 2023 and taking the reins of the number 8 Chevrolet. Behind the wheel, Busch was an electric, daring performer with a fiery personality that thrilled fans and crushed competitors. His trademark winning celebration, a showman's bow, served as a tribute to his roots as a Las Vegas native, but also a flourish, like a magician appearing from the smoke of another triumphant burnout.
Yeah, baby, that's the way I do it.
Busch's sharp wit and competitive spirit sparked a deep emotional connection with race fans of every age, creating the proud and loyal Rowdy Nation.
You love you some Rowdy, let me hear you go, boom!
Busch's death from a severe illness was sudden, coming just 6 days after what turned out to be his final victory, a Truck Series race at Dover.
Take whatever you can get, man. You never know when the last one's going to be, so cherish them all, trust me.
He is survived by his parents and his wife Samantha and 2 children, 11-year-old son Brexton and 4-year-old daughter Lennox. In recent years, Busch's great mission was guiding Brexton's blossoming racing career, coaching his son in the family business at racetracks across America. Kyle Busch was unmatched in the record books and unrivaled on the track, one of the best to ever drive a stock car. He was 41 years old.
Yeah, that's That's definitely crazy, man. There's no describing how they like his family must feel, how Richard Childress must feel, especially having to deal with Earnhardt 25 years ago, and then deal with this is just a sad time. But you know what they're doing, trying to honor his legacy and keep Brexton in the sport. I have a lot of respect for Richard Childress taking the number 8 off, the track and holding it for him until Brexton gets back, and basically protecting him from being used and abused by sponsors, kind of like how his dad was. And it's just, really respectable to see that happen. I hope Kurt Busch steps up and, tries to guide him along the way too, him being a NASCAR Cup Series champion and Hall of Famer. But, there's just no replacing Kyle Busch, one of the best to do it. I'm a Chase Elliott fan, and I'm not a big Kyle Busch fan at all. So, just sad to see him go, though. But, enough of all the sadness. Let's get into the greatest weekend in the ball of motorsports. Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 weekend for Memorial Day weekend. The Coke 600 obviously rained out. It's a terrible way to finish the race. But the IndyCar race was spectacular. The Indy 500 was the best Indy 500 that I've seen pretty my whole life. And so it's a really good race. And let's just see the popularity growth of IndyCar in general is amazing. Hopefully they can continue that forward momentum. They've been down for years, so hopefully they can kick back up and get back to the hype they used to have. So let's watch the final few laps before they call the race here in the Coke 600, and then we'll get into the Indy race, talk about that. Then we'll get some standings and all that other stuff. So let's see.
Go ahead and get those 4 fresh Goodyears and fuel. No changes to this 20 car.
Trevor, there was a lot of confusion on every radio, including Cliff Daniels and Kyle Larson. He said, are they not doing a 30-minute hold? And Cliff Daniels said, no, they're opening pit road right now. Larson's had a little bit too tight this run. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick coming down. 4 fresh Goodyear tires for Reddick. And a drag race off pit road that was almost 4 wide at one point, Adam.
Suarez, 2 tires plus 13. Bell and Hamlin come off second and third with those 4 tires. Larson and Reddick right behind him. This is a very bizarre situation.
I'm glad to hear this confusion down there because I'm confused.
The race wasn't won.
The 7 car's got his hand out the window. Watch his hand right here. He's waving. All right, get in the gas, Larson. Get up here, push me in the back bumper.
Watch how he holds on.
Restart, 41 to go. Big shove, 7 jumps out front from the inside lane.
How poetic is
Assist from Kyle Larson.
The number that Kyle Busch
That's how you do it right there.
The last race that he raced. Well, the last race that he won the race, post 5. The number 5.
Still
Kyle
thinking about the weather.
Kyle Busch started.
Bell outside of Larson.
No driver wins alone.
Yeah.
It takes a whole team
I think
to
that's
get you across the
very
finish line.
poetic.
The same goes for getting out of debt. The experts at National Debt Relief work with you from start to finish, so you can get out of debt in 24 to 48 months. With National Debt Relief, you're not in it alone. You've got all of us behind you.
They raced at Daytona.
Hamlin for third. There he is, making the move inside of Larson. Bell all over the backside of Suarez. And here comes Hamlin's the caution waves.
I think they're going to get one more. Rain in 1 and 2 harder.
Getting reports of rain in turn 2. So our second caution here in this final stage for weather. First for lightning, a very temporary hold there. And now some raindrops. You heard it on the radio. It's been dancing all around us.
Yeah, we got another wave from the 7. Trying to get a little help from the 5 of Larson.
Great push by Kyle.
Does a good job and launches clear of the 20 of Christopher Bell.
2 for 2 on executing those restarts, the 7 and 5. Suarez is gone. Bell through to second. 3 wide for third. Hamlin on the outside.
Dane Smith in that 38. He's going to side by side with the 5, drags them back a little bit. Denny to the bottom, trying to get underneath the 20, his teammate.
Reddick gave a big shove to Hamlin, who had the momentum, drove down low, and he's working over Bell for the runner-up spot. Reddick right there as well.
Christopher Bell closing in on the 7. 3 wide back there behind him. 12 of Blaney to the inside.
Blaney making a move on Gibbs. Hamlin looking low on Suarez for the lead. Bell is there as well.
Oh, contact.
11 and 20 get together.
That was pretty heavy. Denny to the inside. Bell hard in the throttle.
Great blocking.
Nowhere to go with that 7 in front of him.
Suarez doing a great job of playing defense.
Fire Motorsports.
Caution back out.
And I'm going to, there's going to be a lot of comments.
Oh, man,
The race is official. Daniel Suarez wins the Coca-Cola 600. What a tribute to Kyle Busch.
I'm real happy for him. He deserves it. I mean, you got to earn it, bro, but he deserves it. He deserves it. Real happy for Kyle. Dude, the 7. Real happy for Daniel Suarez, bro. They got me talking about Kyle, bro. R.I.P. So let's watch probably the best finish in IndyCar that I've seen. One lap shootout for the finish. Just poetic, bro. I love it. I love it. It just
yellow flag is out with Armstrong leading.
You didn't see it, you missed one.
We can see here, that's the car of Mick Schumacher. Just gets high, brushes the wall.
And the race officials never risk it when there's contact, especially on a high-speed oval. Good news is they should be able to re-rack and restart right away.
Armstrong goes now. Foot to the floor. Malukas goes with him. One lap to decide it all at Indianapolis. Malukas hunting, to the high side, around the outside, into the lead. Malukas leads with 1 to go. Rosenquist round the outside of his teammate through 1, into the short tune in 2.
Teammates battle side by side, but out front, the young American chasing his first win off turn 2.
David Malukas goes to defend. The MSR driver still side by side, but will that play into Malukas' hands? And here comes Pato O'Ward. Malukas is out in front.
Side by side behind.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. Malukas has to defend from Rosenquist. Great run off the final corner. Here comes Rosenquist. Malukas defends. Who has it? Over the line. Who's it going to be? It's Rosenquist. It's Rosenquist.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa. Oh, what a month of May.
You just won the Indy 500. You just won, buddy.
This poor baby. What a finish. Morgan Wallen, bro. Morgan Wallen's 8,500 winner. Yeah, great race, dude. I mean, I guess it really was a good weekend across all motorsports. I loved it, dude. Loved the finish at Indy. Loved the winner at the Coke 600. And Catherine Legg tried to compete for the double. She wrecked out 37 laps into the Indy 500, but she finished the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 race. She did more laps. She did more miles than Kyle Larson did across both of his stints in the double. So, congratulations to her for being the first woman to compete for the double. But, obviously not finishing in Indy, not completing the full, lap schedules because she was a couple laps down in NASCAR. But, congratulations to Catherine Legg for, attempting that double. Congratulations to Elf Cosmetics for the, publicity they got there. I liked an Elf Cosmetics picture for the first time. It popped up on my For You page, Catherine Legg getting ready for the double. So I had to like it. Respect to them. Congratulations to that whole team in general who worked on that, who helped get her ready and all that stuff. Maybe she'll do it again, 45 years old. Maybe if she can get the IndyCar race down, she can complete it. But, that's the challenge for these, regular car drivers. So, congratulations to her. So we're going to jump on in and take a look at these standings from NASCAR, IndyCar, after that race. And Alex Palou is still up there. That win definitely would have helped Malukas a lot. He definitely probably would have been a lot closer maybe. But Felix Rosenquist getting his first win, 97 points back. He gets some top 5s, top 4s, good finishes all around. 5 points for Catherine Legg though. She's on there though. May not be up there, but she's on the list. Congratulations to making it. Yeah, Mick Schumacher is not doing as bad as I thought he would his first year. I hope to see him, compete better later on in his career in IndyCar. Uh, I wanted Pato Award to win. It just wasn't, it didn't plan out the way, it expected. But, he's remaining a consistent driver. McLaren in general struggling. And, yeah, Honda's the team to beat in the IndyCar. They have been the past few years. Chevrolet's slowly making a comeback. You can see here, especially with the standings. Uh, we'll take a look at the engine manufacturer standings as well. But yeah, congratulations to Felix Rosenqvist for winning the Indy 500. Definitely bumped him up some in the point standings. Alex Palou still 37 points clear. He's still my predictor to win the championship. He's the best driver in IndyCar right now. So hopefully he can hold that on and get himself another championship. So we're going to go over here and take a look at the manufacturer standings. And I think Honda's still in first place. Yes, Honda is in first place by a good little bit. It's how it was last year too. I think maybe we can go back to last year. I don't know. Let's see if we can take a look at how big the deficit was for last season. So this is 2020. Okay, you can't. But yeah, anyways, Honda definitely won last year's manufacturer championship by a significant amount. We'll also see next weekend where we'll go to Detroit. If I make a video next week, well, later in this week before the race, I'll make predictions about that. But yeah, congratulations to the winner of the Indy 500. Big jump up in points. Sucks for David Malukas. I know Daniel Dye is dying laughing after that race. Hate to say it, but if you don't remember, Daniel Dye was suspended from NASCAR when he made a comment about David Malukas sounding gay. But with that being said, let's jump on into NASCAR. We'll take a look at all three series, take a look at their point standings and all that, take a look at my fantasy team and how they did. It really didn't do too hot on fantasy. I tried to be a little poetic and pick a team that I thought would do solid. Somehow, I thought that's a second. I thought I dropped in points. Golly, dude, I did terrible, but I did. Daniel Suarez saved it for me getting the win. So I think that's where it helped me out across the board. I really wanted Austin Hill, to do good because, I did pick a crappy lineup though. Zane Smith surprised me. I really should have checked my garage and changed Austin Hill out for Chase Briscoe. But we're still first place in my league. Dang, dude. Yeah, you can't vote against Toyota, bro. That's what killed me this whole time, Toyota. But you can bet against Bubba Wallace. So, yeah. God dang, dude. I really did a terrible job with my fantasy team. So, yeah, I was trying to be poetic picking Austin Hill and Joseph. But, it is what it is. So Tyler Reddick still 122 points clear. Daniel Suarez is solidifying himself as a chase racer, put himself into the top 10. He's got a long way to go if he wants to compete for a championship. He's got a lot of points to catch up on. I'd say, Dale Jr. says that top 6 spots will be fighting for the championship. So he has to, possibly get in there if he wants to be a champion. But Shane Van Giesenberg finishing 11th at the Coke 600, his best finish in all of oval racing. So that's really good for him if he can continue that consistency, especially getting wins next week. Well, not next week, but here in a few weeks when he get back on the road racing. That would be really good for him and his chances to make the chase format. A lot of people were hating on him. He made the playoffs last year, but this requiring more consistency instead of a win in your end situation. This will give SVG an opportunity to possibly make the playoffs if he can continue on, his consistency efforts and on the ovals. So closing it out, that's so sad, bro. Kyle Busch. Man, dude. Yeah, now Austin Hill will be, I guess, taking that seat. Thought he would be up here in the points a little bit, but I guess not. They're not scoring the 33. I'm guessing they're not scoring the 33. But he's fighting for it. Ryan Priest, right there at the edge. Few points clear over Cindric. Logano is struggling. Who would have thought having to be a consistent driver would make Joey Logano struggle. So we're going to go over here to the manufacturer's standings for the Cup. Obviously, Toyota's ahead by 32 over Chevrolet. Ford, always struggling. Ford's been last in the back for the past couple of years. They say you really do need to step it up, and it's not looking any better in the O'Reilly series either. So let's jump over here into O'Reilly's. Justin Allgaier still up front, 142 points clear, and that's just where the consistency effort rolls in. I mean, look at that: 10 top fives and 12 top tens of only one DNF. Jesse Lovey doesn't even have a DNF, but he just can't get a win. He can't seem to get a win. If he can get some wins, maybe he could pass up on Allgaier, but it's still. That lead's going to drop down to 75 points when the season ends. So, who knows what will happen? Jesse Love remains second place in the standings. My boy Rajah Caruth's still in the chase. Well, yeah, still in the chase. So hopefully he can pull that out. There's a big gap between 15 and 16, and a solid small little gap between 17 and 16. So he's definitely got some pushing for the cushion. To stay in the chase if he can just remain consistent. He has a couple of top tens, 5 top tens, and top 5, only 1 DNF. So if he can continue that, hopefully he can do something. I really hope to see that. And look at that, Parker Retzcliffe with a top 10 in the top 10 of points without leading a single lap. So it's really interesting. So let's jump over here into the manufacturers. I know Chevrolet's up, and then your Ford, they have 2 cars, I think, full time, the O'Reilly series. So they got a lot of work to do. We're going to go over here to the Craftsman trucks to close it out. Caden Honeycutt, 11 points clear over Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs got that win. So Lane Riggs is right on Caden Honeycutt's tail, and Christian X is right there too. So you got Chandler Smith's been dropping down a lot since leading the points earlier in the season. I think it's top 10 who make the cutoff. Really would love to see a Ram make it. Justin Haley, not doing so hot. But he's doing good. It's just, he's got a lot of catching up to do. I mean, it's 9 points gap between there, so maybe he can get it. It's still early in the season, but I really love to see a Ram make it. Daniel Heinrich is right there. I mean, it's really close at the back end of this chase field for the trucks. So, still literally halfway in the season. So we're still kind of getting an idea who will finish where. But, these guys at the top are probably going to be pretty consistent. So let's jump on here in the manufacturers. Rams rookie year, down pretty good. Toyota's up front of the trucks. That Tacoma must be doing pretty good. And then we got Chevrolet and Ford battling out, probably about 8-point differential right there. But, still early in the season. Will Chevrolet come back and make a 5-peat in the trucks? So hopefully so. Anybody but a Toyota. So with that being said, we'll see y'all here in a couple of days. We're going to make a video about the Nashville race. I appreciate y'all sticking around. If y'all want to, please like and subscribe so y'all can continue to help my channels grow. Follow me on TikTok at MCM Motorsports. And that's about it. Appreciate y'all sticking around.